G'day everybody, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so today we've had a great day here. We've been here with Noel from Hi-Fi Audio. Now, this place is fantastic. There's quite a few rooms that we're going to walk through, and we're going to, and Noel's going to talk to you about the sound treatment. So he's right up my alley. He really is doing things that I deemed to be super duper important in your hi-fi systems and in your rooms. Remember, I've spoken about the body of the instrument, which is the room you're listening to your hi-fi system in. You must get that body of that instrument right. Now, Noel is all about getting that body of that instrument right, and we're going to talk through some solutions that he has come up with that will really help with the typical Filipino type, or for that matter anyone's rooms that might be wanting to have a second room or an audio room, a dedicated room. Well, Noel's got the solutions really nailed down here, and we're going to have a look through your room. We're going to have your rooms and have a chat about what you've done in those rooms. So I guess the first thing really to ask you is what sort of thing are you wanting to offer your clients when they come in here? What are the sorts of things that, you know, Hi-Fi Audio can provide?
Okay, what we actually do, because we're a designer, and before I became a designer, movies and music is really my true passion. So I studied acoustics, I studied music just to satisfy my own need for that. And when I achieved things that I wasn't able to do before, despite of buying plenty of stuff, I just want, you know, for other people to experience their music, their movies, how it should be, how magical it truly is if it's properly set up.
Yes.
Right. So here we made 4 demo rooms. To fit every family, Filipino family needs. Like so, for example, this room was designed similar to a living room, dining room area, wherein you have the TV, you have 2 sets of speaker, you have a subwoofer there, and then you can have like this setup you can use for karaoke.
Yes.
And we have the capability to make your voice sound great.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have to provide tune. And then this can also be used for hi-fi, 2-channel to 2.1 stereo.
Yes.
And also connected to the TV for a 2.1 cinema.
Yeah, great.
Right, so if you see here, we mimic the typical Filipino home.
Yes.
You have glass, then this one represents a curtain, you have the doors. Right, then you have a table, the chairs, and this room was treated 35% because I think that's the lowest that should be done. For them
to get an audible difference.
To hear the difference. So this is the purpose of the room. So like here we have our meetings here. After we have our meetings,
we've had a great chat here.
We're gonna sing karaoke and then we drink after.
I like that theory.
This is the purpose of the room.
Very good, fantastic.
So this is where the fun happens, but this is also our war room. And we have to discuss stuff. Right?
Well, it's really, Noel, it sounds fantastic. The moment you walk in here, you do notice that there is treatment in here. It's purely and simply audibly. I can hear this treatment in here, and then you pointed it out to us, and the way you've incorporated it into what would be the normal typical Filipino home that may want to have an emphasis on having good audio in that room. We've taken away some of the hard surfaces that become reflective and become harsh to our ears, and you've just taken enough of that out for this room to be very, very like musically pleasing. And I think that's a really, really important thing you're doing, and that's the sort of thing that you can consult with homeowners about and help them to get that balance right.
Actually, what we really do is that we just invite people to experience all our demo rooms. Right, and our commitment is that whatever they hear here that they like, we can actually deliver it in their homes.
Brilliant.
And the most beautiful thing is that, and people ask us how much it's gonna cost them. Actually, it's the client who dictates the budget.
Sure.
Our job is just with the budget, with the space, with the room.
Yep.
We're gonna find something
Yeah.
that can maximize the investment, and then the
Brilliant.
what the what the room can gives. And I guarantee you that if even if it took the room 35%,
Yeah.
or even 50%, just like in the other room,
Yep. Which we'll go and
it
see.
still sounds great,
Yeah.
even if the source is YouTube, right?
Well, that's a perfect example. When we go into the next room, everybody, you're going to see a room that's treated to 50%, and in that room, we were listening to a YouTube
Yes.
clip on you. So obviously, Noel's picked decent music that on YouTube, because there's all sorts of quality, as you know. And we listened in there, and we were really, really impressed with just how good that sounded with a 50% room treatment, with some diffusion, some absorption, trapping some bass, getting everything in the right positions as well, where those things need to be trapped or they need to be absorbed. And that's obviously where you come in. And we'll go into that room next, and we'll have a look at that, and I'll get you, Noel, to talk to us about what you've done in that room.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, now we're in the 50% room. So this room, Noel has treated to a 50% level, and this is the room that we were listening to a YouTube performance, some music on a what would you call this, a 2-point?
No, this is a 7.2 room.
Okay.
Right, and we're using the typical AV receiver.
Yes.
That's our
Yep.
processor and amplifier at the same time.
Yep.
Then we're using the TV, which is usually what's inside the typical Filipino room.
Yes.
Right. This can be a guest room, a family room, a living room for small houses. And
Yep.
it has a couch. It has
Yep.
a bar counter there, which can sit to.
Yes.
Right. Typical simple stuff.
Yep.
You got the center speaker, you have the subwoofers, you have the tower,
Yep.
right? The ceiling speakers are there,
I see, yep.
other ceiling speakers there,
Yep.
and then the surround speakers on wall there.
On the wall there.
Yes.
So the good thing about this room is that it really did reproduce that full immersive soundstage image that we would want to be hearing from a multi-channel setup. And when you walk into this room, you can, everybody, hear there's just that little, and hopefully the camera is picking this up, but there is a more natural, neutral sound in this room than even in the 35% room. So by all means, this room has definitely improved in what we would like to see in a room that's treated correctly. So again, thumbs up to you, Noel. This room sounded great. It's got some diffusion here on the front wall, which is super duper important. We've got some diffusion down here on the sides.
There's diffusion
and absorption.
Absorbers,
Yeah, so again, that really worked in this room. When I was listening to audio in this room, I was not distracted by anything other than what I was hearing. There was no room interaction that really distracted me in any way at all. So well done, mate. This room is another really good room. And again, it's your typical, as you say, Noel, typical size Filipino room. So for anyone that's, here in the Philippines, reach out to Noel, because he really does know what he's doing here. If you're serious about getting your audio right, and you watch my channel enough, you will hear me often talking about the body of the instrument, which is the room. That is so important to get right, because it makes average sound systems sound phenomenally good, because they were always good, but the room was distracting you from really understanding that.
Yes.
And that's what Noel's principle is, and I 100% agree with that, and I've mentioned it on my channel in previous videos, long before I ever met this man, that is a super duper important thing that to get right. Room first, not last. We always seem to think of the room as the last thing we want to treat.
Yeah.
It really should be one of the first things we treat. The first thing we do after we get the sound system is treat the room. Make sure you leave enough budget in your setup to treat the room adequately, so that this can shine. This can be the star of the show, rather than the room distracting you from that, because this will always be at its level. But if you don't get the body of the instrument right, how can it sound good? So it's super duper important. And this was a really great room. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back next for the full-on room.